Good morning, fellow traders. Happy Monday, June the 30th. Black Coffee Trader here with you. Time to do our daily trade plan. On the chart here, I've got the NASDAQ, and wow, what a story last week on the NASDAQ. I put a little horizontal blue line at the daily highs and really notice how we stair-stepped higher every single day. Looking back at my last week, Wednesday of last week, I had a very bad day. On this day, on this pullback, I was shorting the NASDAQ, which in hindsight was stupid. In hindsight, this was literally a pullback to this previous level here around the 22,400s, call it 22,380s, literally just a pullback to refuel for a move higher. And that's really all that last week was. We had the move high, move out on Monday, Monday's high, and then we had the overnight high just really push strongly. Here was Tuesday's high, kind of went sideways, pushed into Wednesday's high, pullback, and then that's when things really started to go. Thursday's high, we had a pullback on Friday, pushed up into Friday's high, and we are now holding above that Friday high here in the pre-market since last night. So things are looking very, very bullish. We have the all-time high sitting here at 22,871 and a quarter. We are above that as of 7:21 this morning. Probably going to see some kind of a pullback, or at least I would anticipate that. But this is a bullish market right now. And as long as this trend continues, I think the best thing to do is to ride that trend. It's something I'll be looking to do. One of the things I've noticed, I'm really turning into a daily low, blue line, daily high, purple line. I am really turning into that type of a key levels trader. I'm really paying a lot of attention to that. I'm really looking for a pullback into the high of day for a continued move higher. Also, if we get down below the daily low or the previous day low, looking for a break and retest short. I've really noticed that even just this morning, I wasn't trying to set it up, but if I look at every single chart that I've got from the NASDAQ all the way through the Russell, I've got the highs and lows marked out, and I just kind of gravitate to that almost subconsciously. So doesn't mean we're not going to trade levels in between. I think we should, we have to, we need to, but the big safe key areas are that high and low of day, or it seems like that has been the case. I mean, if you look at some of these moves that we had over the past week, I didn't chart the lows of days, but let's just look at that briefly here. On Tuesday, the low of day, which would have set right in here, which would have bounced off the pre-market high. Here we would have had a beautiful low. We didn't really it wasn't quite as clean. Really just looking for these highs of days and bouncing off of that. But in any case, that has definitely been the move as of last week. The other thing that's really interesting, it felt like a month, the NASDAQ would break the daily high each day and then give it all back. Break the daily high, give it all back. Break the daily high, give it all back. We saw that, in this chop area. And we have not seen that last week. That is very, very refreshing, and it is very, very much a bullish sign. Now, that does not mean that a pullback into a level area like here from Friday. The other thing I was looking at is a pullback into this 400 range. That would not be a bearish, short-term bearish, but that would be a reset bullish play if you look at the big picture chart. If you look at the big picture here, pulling back into the 400s, which is right here, would not be a bad thing to really, if this is really going to break out. So again, just be careful for that. And this is something I'm telling myself to be cautious of. We could see a big pullback on a day like today, tomorrow, and really to reset and feel higher. But we got to take our shots. And if we get setups at these key areas I've got marked out, you get a key point here around the 22,730s. Some of these areas are I found these on the 4-hour chart, and then just looking at just the daily action we've had over the last couple of days. But things are looking very bullish on the NASDAQ this morning. Very, very bullish. If this move continues, we definitely want to try to ride this wave to the upside. ES is very, very similar, but not as pronounced. You can look at the Monday high down low here, and then the Tuesday, Wednesday high. Tuesday, Wednesday was pretty much flat last week, and then we had the push up Thursday, another push up Friday. Friday we had that V-shaped day. I'm kind of glad I took Friday off, to be honest with you. But in any case, now we are holding above that Friday high on ES. like we have on the NASDAQ. So notice here's the Friday high. We've held above that, and we're pushing higher. So I really like to see that. Actually, I do think this is really where the overnight low is. But in the morning session, I should say, we have held above that Friday high of day. So, you know, I think I may have messed up my charts here. Maybe not. Nope, I didn't. This is not correct. This is not at the right spot. But anyway, big picture is still the same. Same on the ES. We're looking for pullbacks from the highs and to push higher. Yeah, this is incorrect. The high of day from Friday was right here at the purple line. I've got that marked incorrectly. How's it on the NASDAQ? I've got that marked incorrectly as well. That high of day was here. But in any case, no big deal. We're still, the picture still remains. Looking for pullbacks to the high of day from Friday. Looking for, you know, if we get setups in any of these other levels, we'll definitely take it and continue to watch for things to push higher on the ES. Dow Jones, definitely bullish, but also went sideways here middle of the week, and then we finally had the big push. We had the big V-shaped move on Friday. We are now holding, so things are very, very bullish here on the Dow Jones this morning. If this stays, that could set up a great early morning long. Also a pullback down into the high of day or the low of day from Friday wouldn't be bad. So something to take a look at there. The other thing that's really, really worth pointing out on the Dow Jones is we are now above the daily 200 moving average, the daily 20, the daily 100, and the daily 50. All of these are sitting here below price. And so really a pullback into this area above the daily 200 around the 43,500s. Again, kind of like I just talked about on the NASDAQ, in my opinion, a pullback to a level like that would not be a bad thing and would be really a bullish move. Yes, in the short term, it would definitely be bearish, but would it be a bullish move on the big picture? So we need to be open for that. Russell, things are definitely a little bit more stagnant on the Russell. We did have a decent week, but very much an up-down week. We had a pullback middle of the week, and we pushed back out of that. But things are going a little bit more sideways on the Russell. So again, probably a little bit more cautious today. I do like this level around the 2180s. I really like that. If we get a pullback there, that would be good. But again, big picture, we're looking for these highs of days, lows of days. We're looking for moves from there. We do have the daily 200 sitting above price on the Russell. So here's the thing. If the Russell moves above the daily 200 today, which it could, then we are looking at every one of the major indices are sitting above all the daily moving averages. And that, in my opinion, is very, very, very bullish. So something we'll be looking out for. But anyway, that's the plan for today. Really, the big watch is the NASDAQ. We've got quite a bullish move on the NASDAQ. Will it continue? I think it has what it takes right at the moment, and will we really truly kind of break out and really set some nice new major all-time highs or not? That definitely could happen this week. News-wise, we do have some news this week that could create an impact. Let me just pull this over and we'll take a look at it together. So here's the news today, really nothing, and then tomorrow we have our good buddy Powell speaking at 9:30 right at market open, so things could be a little bit hectic in the morning tomorrow. We have 10 o'clock ISM PMI. We have JOLTS at 10 o'clock tomorrow morning, so very news heavy tomorrow. Probably not going to be too much. Going to be better off to kind of stay away until probably after about 10:15, 10:30 tomorrow. I actually am going to take tomorrow off. I'm not going to be, well, I might trade the afternoon, but I'm definitely not trading the morning. I will have an update tomorrow morning, by the way. Wednesday, we have non-farm payroll or non-farm unemployment change at 8:15. On Thursday, we have average hourly earnings. We have non-farm employment change, and we have unemployment rate on Thursday, all at 8:30, big red folder events. Unemployment claims, yellow folder. And then Thursday at 10 o'clock, we have ISM PMI. So big, heavy news on Thursday. And then obviously we're off on Friday for July 4th. So should be an interesting week. And I think if you look at the news perspective, I mean, one of the big things on the markets that move the markets are news events, data and news. Data and news definitely has a big bearing on what this thing does, and so we're pretty heavy this week. And if those news items are favorable, then this thing could obviously rocket ship higher. So that's the thought. That's the thought this morning. That's where the headspace is at. Like the move. Let's try to capitalize on the pullbacks and on the levels that we get today, and try to take some good trades. So good luck today. Have a good trading day. Keep your head straight. Make some money in the markets. And we'll see you probably on Wednesday morning with the next daily trade plan update. So until next time, take care and so long.